Yeah. So yeah, these are the certain things which we have to look and keep an eye on them before opening a business.
Yes. So the things on which you are keeping your eye, so all those things are affecting your business in some or the other way.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that is the environment for your business. Okay.
Got
Got
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
Got the concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I think Deepika, who has raised the hand? What is the question? My voice is low.
It's fine to me, ma'am.
It's fine. Damini, what's the question of yours? We will answer all this question in last 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, let's continue with the topic so that we could complete first block. Yes? Now, business operates in unique environment. So every business has its unique environment in the sense what you are going to procure for that business, what you are the customers whom you are serving, what technologies you are using. Everything is unique for each and every business. Okay, for a kirana store, for a cafe, or for a stationery shop, there are different requirements, different customers whom you have to handle, from where you have to procure the goods that you have to sell, or for a cafe from where you are going to procure the vegetables, anything. जो भी आप कैसे करोगे, कहाँ से करोगे, सबका एक अपना यूनिक एनवायरनमेंट होता है. एंड बिजनेस इज लाइक एन ओपन सिस्टम, इट इज नॉट अ क्लोज्ड वन. व्हाई?
Ma'am,
Why it is
because
an
it
open?
depends on others also.
Yeah, it depends on others also, and you should be open to accept the changes that are going to come. Before pandemic, you can see that the things were totally different, and after pandemic the things are changed. Now every business is now online, offline and online both. Everyone is trying to work offline and online both. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So open system, it's an open system, and it does not stop at a single place. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि आप एक स्टेशनरी शॉप खोल रहे हो या एक कैफे खोल रहे हो तो आप एक लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ कस्टमर्स को सर्व कर रहे हो जो रेगुलर आ रहे हैं. कस्टमर्स चेंज हो रहे हैं, डिमांड्स चेंज हो रही है. डिमांड्स चेंज हो रही है तो आप उस हिसाब से अपने आप को चेंज करते रहते हो. ठीक है.
Ma'am, time to time we have to upgrade our business so that we can
Yes.
run
And
easily.
society and business enterprises are mutually dependent. How a society and a business enterprises mutually dependent on each other?
Because society will can generate a demand, and because of that, the business requirement will change.
Yes. In case of demand also, or in case you recruit employees from those society only while running your business, you procure the raw material from that society only. अगर आप किसी एम्प्लॉय को एम्प्लॉय कर रहे हो, सो आप उसको सैलरी दे रहे हो, उसकी परचेजिंग पावर पैरिटी को इंक्रीज कर रहे हो, सो अल्टीमेटली वो भी इसी सोसाइटी में जाके फिर अपने फाइनेंशियल बेनिफिट्स को इन्वेस्ट करेगा. यस. सो दैट्स व्हाई सोसाइटी एंड enterprises are mutually dependent. Now, what is the definition of business? Any organization or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial or professional activity. कोई भी organization जो इस तरह के activities में engaged है, that are termed as business. A business can be for profit or for non-profit. In both cases, it is a business. So any commercial, industrial, or professional activities undertaken by individual, group, organization, or society, whether it is an opened by an entrepreneur, whether it is a public limited or private limited, any kind of thing is that it is a business. So a reference to a specific area or type of economic activity which may include purchase, sale, manufacture, processing, and or marketing of product or services. All these things are included in business. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now, for business, profit is often regarded as overall measure of performance, financial yardsticks for measuring business efficiency and evaluating managerial competence. What does this mean? When we evaluate our overall performance, then only we make out whether our business is running properly or not. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
na? Now, in a simple example, I will take up the example of FDI. What is FDI? Anyone? Are you familiar with the term FDI?
Foreign
Foreign
direct
development
investment.
industry.
Yes,
Foreign direct investment.
foreign direct investment. What was that? Why it was opposed and why it is accepted? Everything has its pros and cons.
Yes, ma'am.
To
Yes,
increase investment in India.
yes, Prince.
Yes, to increase investment in India from
Huh.
foreign countries or foreign companies.
So why it was denied? Why it was not accepted initially? And now if it's accepted, then what's the positive
मैम
aspect of it?
Ma'am,
क्योंकि
because
मैम
people thought
प्रॉफिट
that
का जो
because
शेयर
the
है फॉरेन
ownership,
इसका प्रॉफिट मैडम फॉरेन कंपनीज के पास चला जाएगा, तो इसमें शायद उसकी कुछ टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन रहती है कि इंडिया में अगर ला रहे हैं तो इंडिया के लोगों को उतना एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिलना चाहिए.
हाँ वो तो है, कंडीशंस तो होती है, बट इनिशियली व्हाई इट वाज
ma'am,
अपोज्ड?
उन्हें लगा था
Ma'am,
कि इन्वेस्टमेंट बाहर से आएगा तो ओनरशिप हमारे हाथ से ना चले जाए.
So if investment will come from other
Outside.
country, then outside from other country, then employment will also be generated. Then what was the problem?
Ma'am,
ma'am,
but the ownership, ma'am, they'll have some shareholding capacity in it. So it won't work according to them. Instead, the one who are investing in it, it would work according to them.
Ownership was one perspective. What was the other perspective?
To affect the
Financial
local market, ma'am.
in term of financial benefit. What was that?
मैम हार्ड वर्किंग एम्प्लॉयमेंट्स करेंगे और उनको उतना प्रॉफिट ना मिलके जो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स होंगे वो ले लेंगे. सो मे बी क्रिएट नाउ.
ma'am,
Yes, because they are not paying. In we are a poor country or we are a developing country, so we are with less employment. Yes,
यस मैम.
yes,
yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
employment will be generated, but they can have labor, they can have employees at a less pay scale in comparison to the foreign country. But if we are earning, if our employees are earning, they will invest the money or the salary they are getting, they will invest in our own country. So economic condition of our country will increase. Then why it was not accepted?
Ma'am, because it would pose a competition to the indigenous industry of India, to companies of India.
Now, giving a salary to an employee is from profit or from our expenses that we have incurred.
Ma'am,
Expenses.
it was from the
Expenses,
expenses. Yeah.
yes. So the profit that they are going to earn, they will invest where?
मैम इन देयर ओन कंट्री.
Yeah, they in their own country. So this was the thing that our money will go to some other place, some other country. Yes.
यस मैम.
Now, so business includes everything from a small owner operated company to a restaurant. These are the things. There is transaction or exchange of value with the company. It may be kind of transaction in case initially we had barter system. Now we have, now what we have? Exchange in term of money.
Good.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, It is created and managed by people who make decision for the growth of business, and profit is not the whole sole objective of any business. Rather, it includes development of wealth, goodwill, societal factors, relation, etc. It's not the whole sole objective, but other objectives are also there. Now, what is the objective of a business? Purpose of business is to create customers or market, which in turn caters to society. What does this mean? The customer or the market in turn, what they will cater to the society.
मैम पब्लिसिटी मे बी कि कस्टमर से और उनके जो प्रोडक्ट्स होंगे उससे सोसाइटी में चीजें और पता चलेंगी
Now, if we
उनके
are
पास
serving a
कस्टमर।
customer, catering means serving. Yes.
यस मैम।
So if we are serving a customer, should I speak totally in English or mixed? Because there are many messages. Someone is
मैम
asking in English, someone is asking for Hindi.
English is good.
English, ma'am. English, ma'am.
Ma'am, use both the
Mixed.
languages.
Okay. So purpose of business is to create customers or market, which in turn caters. Caters का क्या मतलब होता है? Catering someone means serving someone. So कोई भी business होता है, कुछ भी कोई भी business हम करते हैं, तो it caters to the society. It serves the society. Yes.
यस मैम।
Or the marketplace. So what are the objective? First objective is profitability. Yes, it is the whole sole objective of any business, earning profit. Productive efficiency, more and more productive. For a business to be efficient, it should be more and more productive. Yes. Then the other term is growth. Growth factor is also there. It is the objective of business. हम ये नहीं चाहते हैं कि हमने आज जो स्टोर खोला है वो सेम स्टोर हमारा as it is 20 years बाद भी हो. We want growth. Yes. From a simple kirana store to a departmental store. Yes.
यस मैम।
Technological dynamism means we keep on changing, inducing technology. Before pandemic, there was no one who was using QR codes, these barcodes. People were there, but now you could see normal kirana stores near your place, near your home, where you can pay through Google Pay.
मैम योर वॉइस इज
Your
नॉट
voice
क्लियर।
is breaking.
My voice is breaking still.
No, it's fine.
Now, stability, it should be stable. A business should be stable. आज कुछ किया, कल कुछ और कर रहे हैं. Day after उसके बाद कुछ और कर रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं. Should be stability. A stability should be there. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Self-reliance. What does it mean? It's an objective of a business. Self-reliance.
आत्मनिर्भर.
Yes. It should be. एक बिजनेस आत्मनिर्भर कैसे होगा?
हम अपने बिजनेस को हम लोग खुद ही सब कुछ करना पड़ेगा, तो हम लोग किसी पे निर्भर नहीं रह सकते.
Yes.
अगर हम दूसरे पे अगर if we will be like throwing everything on others, then what is the purpose of us being the owner of the business when
Yes.
people, everyone, another is doing anything, everything is doing.
Yes. Now the next thing.
तो हमारा मेनली हमारा कंट्रोल होना चाहिए, हमारी अथॉरिटी होनी चाहिए बिजनेस में, ताकि हम जो भी ऑथराइज करें वो बंदा वो करे. बिकॉज अब बिजनेस है, बिजनेस में ह्यूमन नेचर इज नॉट फिक्स्ड, इट इज वेरिएबल. तो हम किसी भी ह्यूमन नेचर की वजह से ही हमें क्या कहते हैं सेल्फ रिलायंट होता है. बिकॉज इफ वी डोंट नो anything about our business, then we won't be able to like guide or coach the other person who is reliable on us, because that person is reliable on us and we should not be reliable on them for their experience and all.
Dependent on anyone. Okay. आज हमारा अकाउंटेंट छोड़ के चला गया तो हमारा बिजनेस बंद, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Yes.
यस मैम.
Yes.
ma'am.
काम वाली नहीं आई तो खुद खुद साफ सफाई करनी चाहिए.
Yes, yes. This is the best example. काम वाली नहीं आई तो घर का काम खुद कर लेना चाहिए. Now what about
Experience.
survival? What about survival?
Now for
Too many
survival, what I
competitors
think
are
is
there,
that
तो back out
हाँ,
नहीं करना है. Yes.
competition, competitive study is very most important, and internal and external factors are also important.
Yes. Internal and external factors are also important. Now, business is a society organ of economic expansion, growth, and change. This statement is very much true. Okay. Now, competitive strength, customer service, financial solvency, product quality, diversification, employee satisfaction, and welfare. These are the internal factors, internal objective that has to be looked out while doing a business. Yes? कोई point, कोई चीज ऐसी है जो नहीं समझ में आ रही हो?
समझ आ रही है.
नो मैम, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, सब समझ में आ रहा है.
Okay. Now, what is the importance of business and environment? Determining opportunities and threats. This is the basic thing
Yes, ma'am.
that we have to determine the opportunities and threats of the business. Now, giving direction for growth, how we could
And
grow.
strengths and weaknesses also.
Yeah. SWOT analysis.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, many new are introduced. We will discuss in our session. Continuous learning, this is also important for a business environment. Image building, आपके कस्टमर्स के माइंड में अगर आपकी इमेज नहीं होगी, आपके सप्लायर्स जो भी हैं, रॉ मटेरियल प्रोक्योर कर रहे हो, जहां से कुछ भी कर रहे हो, अगर आप अपनी इमेज प्रॉपर बिल्ड नहीं करोगे तो आपका जो बिजनेस है वो स्मूथ फ्लो नहीं करेगा. दिस इज द फैक्ट. मीटिंग कॉम्पिटिशन, should meet the competition, should keep on changing according to the competitors. हम कोई प्रोडक्ट 12 रुपीज में सेल आउट कर रहे हैं, कोई हमारा कॉम्पिटिटर्स है उसी 12 रुपीज में वो डिफरेंट बेनिफिट्स दे रहा है या 10 रुपीज में वो अदर बेनिफिट्स भी दे रहा है. तो वी शुड डू द R&D अगेन टू मीट द कॉम्पिटिशन and identifying our firm's strength and weakness. These are the importance of a business environment. How environmental influences of business, natural environment, how they influence our business. Anyone?
मैम अगर हमारा बिजनेस, अगर आपका फॉर एग्जांपल किराना स्टोर है या फिर कोई भी हमारी शॉप है आउटसाइड, अब जैसे कि आप बेस्ट एग्जांपल इज कोविड मैम.
या
तो मैम कोविड में जैसे किराना स्टोर्स है उनकी भी गाइडलाइंस रहती थी कि आप इतने बजे से इतने बजे तक खोल सकते हैं. तो दिस इज अ नेचुरल एनवायरनमेंट व्हिच इज अफेक्टिंग आवर बिजनेस, so which we don't have any
natural
control over.
environment in the sense that we don't have any control. हमें नहीं पता था कि कोविड आएगा और हमें नहीं पता था कि इतना डिजास्टर्स होगा. ठीक है,
और
तो
आजकल
ये
तो बारिश हो गई.
हाँ, ये नेचुरल कंडीशंस हैं जो डिजास्टर्स हो जाते हैं. तो नेचुरल फैक्टर्स या इन्वायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स, नेचुरल एनवायरनमेंट फैक्टर्स होते हैं, वो भी हमारे बिजनेस को इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं. ठीक है, सिंपली अगर हमें अभी कोई फैक्ट्री खोलनी है तो हम जैसे ये होते हैं आपके ब्रिक्स की जो वो होते हैं जहाँ पे ब्रिक्स बनते हैं, ईंट का भट्टा इन अ सिंपल लैंग्वेज, तो हम उसे कहाँ पे ओपन करेंगे? इन द सेंटर ऑफ द सिटी.
In outskirts, where the raw material is available.
City.
हाँ, why?
Ma'am, for business, there is a very important factor: product, price, place, and promotion. ये चारों पांचों फैक्टर्स को ध्यान रखते हुए.
The 4 factors, 4 P's.
4 P's, yes, ma'am. 4 P's is very important. Your product should be good. Your price should be competitive. Your place is should be good. And finally, promotion कि आप कैसे promote करें अपने product को, आप अपने उसको कैसे promote करो. It is very important for a product.
That's a marketing mix.
Yeah, these are the marketing mix, but we are talking about the environmental influence for a business. So why we are not going to open that manufacturing unit for bricks in the center of the city? Why in outer areas?
Just because
outer
raw
area में
materials,
आपको मिट्टी मिल जाएगी.
raw materials नहीं मिलेगा.
Because it will affect.
और जब हम एमिशन होगा वो सिटी को पोल्यूट करेगा.
Cheap raw material plus cheap labor plus like cheap land area
everything.
where we can, yes.
हाँ, so the condition that are favorable, natural conditions को भी हम देख रहे हैं ना कि that are favorable for opening a business. Okay. Now, business decisions are influenced by two set of factors. First factor is internal factors, and the other set of factor are external factor. Can anyone tell what are the internal and what are the external factors?
Internal factors are those factors which are controllable by us. For example, human labor and
Yes,
operations
very
in the
good.
stores and anything which are controllable. And the external factors are those, for example, that these natural factors which are not controllable with us,
Yeah,
which
the
we don't have
political
any control
factors,
over.
natural factors, political factors, or technological
Yeah.
factors, which we do not have control. So these two sets of factors also influence our business. Now, business environment present two challenges to the enterprise. The first is the challenge to combat the environmental threats, and the second one is exploit the business opportunities. What does this two mean?
Ma'am, can you come again, please?
The second point that is written that business environment present two challenges. Everyone knows business environment presents challenges. So the challenge to combat the environmental threats and exploit the business opportunities. These are the two challenges that any business environment is going to face. Any business is going to face these two challenges. So what are these? The challenge to combat the environmental threats, but obvious the pandemic condition or any kind of condition, change in government, these are the environmental threats. Yes, the
Yes,
policies are
ma'am.
changed.
Yes,
These
ma'am.
and exploit the business opportunities. What does this mean? Exploit the business opportunities.
Now, like example in the COVID, like everyone before was not into online,
Yes.
but when the pandemic hit us, then
Huh.
everything became online. So now after the
Mhm.
pandemic, now we have both the options for the
Both option.
which is
हाँ,
online and
So those who went
से
on
offline.
ऑफलाइन चीजें काफी
those
इफेक्ट हो गई
business
हैं.
yes, so those business unit who went online, they have been enjoyed the business opportunities, but those who आज अगर आप जाते हो किसी शॉप पे और आप कहते हो आप प्रोडक्ट बाय कर लेते हो एंड देन यू से दैट आई वांट टू पे थ्रू क्यूआर और थ्रू कार्ड और वो कहता है कि नहीं मेरे पास तो नहीं है ऐसा कुछ आपको कैश ही पे करना होगा एंड यू डोंट हैव कैश देन व्हाट will you do?
Then we have to return the product.
Yes. So business opportunity is exploited or not? He
Yes,
could
ma'am.
have अगर
Yes.
उसके पास ये सारी उसने टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ अपने आप को चेंज किया होता, उसने एनवायरनमेंट के साथ अपने आप को चेंज किया होता, तो वो कस्टमर रिटर्न बैक नहीं जाता.
Hmm.
Okay. So environmental analysis is one of the first step for any business strategic management. Now, what are the variables of environment? Internal and external. We have macro and micro. And influence should be positive or negative, and there is a mutual relationship between internal and external environment. External is beyond control of individual, industrial enterprise and their management, and vary from industry to industry and country to country. A strategist looks on environment as posing threats to the firm or offering immense opportunities for exploitation. कोई भी कंडीशन हो, the war that Russia and Ukraine is having, कुछ भी ऐसी कंडीशन होती है, इट डिपेंड्स कि वो किस कंट्री को इफेक्ट कर रहा है. एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स जो होते हैं वो किसको इफेक्ट कर रहे हैं, किस बिजनेस को, किस कंट्री को, और किस कंट्री और किस बिजनेस को इफेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं. ये हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं होते. इनका इन्फ्लुएंस पॉजिटिव भी हो सकता है एंड इट कुड बी नेगेटिव. इट डिपेंड्स कंट्री टू कंट्री, बिजनेस टू बिजनेस. ओके. सो
मैम
Yes,
एक
ma'am.
क्वेश्चन था.
हाँ बताओ.
मैम जो आपने जैसे बिजनेस एक्सप्लॉइट वाली बात बोली, राइट?
हम्म,
सो सपोज देयर इज अ वन स्टोर, राइट? कोई भी स्टोर है किनारा और स्टेशनरी है ना. नाउ दैट वाज द ओनली स्टोर इन दैट होल एरिया, राइट? नाउ they are selling it out on a MRP, right? Whatever the maximum. Now when they till the time another store is opened, right? then they came no, they reduce the amount, right? They start selling the bill. So us case mein whether we'll consider this as a genuine case or it will be a business exploit. I'm just asking because a lot of time happen
नो,
कि
जब आपका जो पहला वाला स्टोर है उसने अपने आप को चेंज नहीं किया,
हम्म
कस्टमर मस्ट बी डिमांडिंग, पहले भी कस्टमर डिमांड कर रहे होंगे कि आप एमआरपी पे सोल आउट कर रहे हो प्रोडक्ट, डू गिव अस सम डिस्काउंट, डू गिव सम डिस्काउंट। तो तब आपके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं था, कस्टमर्स के पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं था, दे वेंट फॉर बाइंग द प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम दैट स्टोर ओनली, बट नाउ द कस्टमर आर हैविंग द ऑप्शन, अ न्यू स्टोर इज देयर और वो आपको डिस्काउंट ऑफर कर रहा है, तो नाउ द कस्टमर विल परस्यू टुवर्ड्स द न्यू स्टोर, तो उनका जो मार्केट कवरेज है वो कम होता जाएगा। तो अगर वो अपने आप को चेंज कर ले रहे हैं कि देयर इज अ कॉम्पिटिटर एंड दे चेंज अकॉर्डिंग टू द कॉम्पिटिटर, तो वो तो ठीक है, और अगर नहीं करते हैं तो वो एक अपॉर्चुनिटी को एक्सप्लॉइट ही तो कर रहे हैं अपने, कस्टमर बेस डाउन जा रहा है, ठीक है।
सो ये बेसिकली जो बिजनेस हैं उनके लिए है कि वो if they are not adapting the change then they are exploiting their chance to grow.
Yes. ठीक है।
Yeah.
Now look over the diagram. Input, what we input in a business: capital, material, equipment, facilities, labor, supplier, knowledge and time. These are the inputs that we invest. Now what are the transformation system: alteration, transportation, storage, inspection. These are the transformation system. In what we input
Ma'am,
to,
your screen is stuck, I guess.
yes,
Ma'am, your screen is stuck. Clarity नहीं है, ma'am.
is it
Ma'am,
not
now, yes, ma'am. Now it's clear.
now it's clear, so should I not zoom it out?
Ma'am, please open it in full screen.
Yeah, I was using full screen.
मैम
Now
वो स्लाइड नहीं चेंज हुआ था आपका,
हाँ मैम, स्लाइड नहीं
फुल
change
स्क्रीन में मैम नहीं दिख रहा था कुछ भी।
अब दिख रहा
दिख
है,
रहा है अब?
अब दिख रहा
अब
है,
देख रहे हैं
अब दिख रहा है।
दिख रहा है। सो
Yes.
इनपुट देख रहे हो आप क्या क्या है एक बिजनेस में? दीज आर द इनपुट्स दैट वी इन्वेस्ट इन ईच एंड एवरी बिजनेस। कोई भी बिजनेस होगा, दीज आर द इनपुट्स: कैपिटल, मटेरियल, इक्विपमेंट, फैसिलिटी, लेबर, सप्लायर, नॉलेज, टाइम। And what are the environment for business: customer, regulations, supplier, economy, competitors and technology. These are the environment. And output: facilitating goods or service. यही output देता है कोई भी business, either in the form of goods or products or in the form of service. Yes.
Yes ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And what we see here, these environment monitoring and control, then in return action. Again, it's a continuous process. Again it leads to input. So different organization use different inputs, adopt different processes and produce different outputs. Input output exchange activity is a continuous process which actively interacts with the external environment. From this diagram it is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes ma'am.
Now next, what are the problems in understanding the environmental influences? What are the problems? Different influences and diversity which make strategic decision making difficult, and uncertainty due to fast technological and global change, and coping with the business and changing environmental complexities is based on ever changing environment.
मैम पीपीटी आपने फुल स्क्रीन की है क्या?
Yes, नहीं दिख रही है क्या?
मैम वो नहीं चेंज नहीं हुई।
अब हुई चेंज?
मैम ये जो नीचे मैम 60% है, इसको मैम थोड़ा प्लस प्लस करके 100% कर दीजिए, विजिबल हो जाएगा प्रॉपर्ली।
अब दिख रहा है मैम।
Yes, ma'am.
अब दिख रही है?
Yes, ma'am. अब दिख रहा है।
यस मैम।
दिख रहा है अब?
यस मैम।
एक स्क्रीन बैक गई हूं मैं। प्रॉब्लम इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग द एनवायरमेंटल इन्फ्लुएंसेस।
Yes, ma'am. दिख रही है।
ठीक है। सो व्हाट आर द प्रॉब्लम्स इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग द एनवायरमेंटल इन्फ्लुएंसेस? क्या क्या हो सकते हैं? डाइवर्सिटी, अगर हम उसे प्रॉपरली अंडरस्टैंड नहीं करें। अनसर्टेनिटी ड्यू टू फास्ट टेक्नोलॉजिकल एंड ग्लोबल चेंज, जब कभी भी there was a time when computer was introduced. if people were not ready, जो adopt करने के लिए नहीं ready था या जो उस pace के साथ move करने के लिए नहीं ready था, उसे problem हुई to move on, and
The
still
best example is Nokia.
yes, best example is Nokia. और still जो move
Microsoft
on
and
नहीं कर
Android.
रहे हैं, they are having problem. तो we have to move with the changing environment. हम summers में winter के clothes अगर sell करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो वो एक problem होगी, या जहाँ पे कोल्ड ज्यादा है वहां पे वैसे प्रोडक्ट सेल करने की कोशिश करेंगे जो कि वहां के रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, तो ऑब्वियसली इट विल नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेड. तो वी हैव टू get influenced by the environment. Okay, now the next slide, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the framework for understanding environmental influence? That is PEST. P is for political factors, E is for economic factor, S is for socio-cultural factor, and T is for technological factors. So these are the factors which we have to understand. Political factors, we have to work with the government that is working, yeah, the policies or procedure of the country where we are doing our business, export, import, any kind of business. Economic factor, anyone can explain?
Economic factors can be like, for example, inflation, and जब प्राइस इन्फ्लेट कर जाएगा हर से प्रोडक्ट का, तो फिर हम क्या कहते हैं, उस हिसाब से फिर उसको, उस हिसाब से फिर बिजनेस को भी कोप अप करना पड़ेगा.
मैम इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स बेसिकली वो होंगे जैसे कि
मैम
हम
इकोनॉमिक
जहाँ पे भी अपना बिजनेस सेटअप करना चाह रहे हैं तो वहाँ पे अगर हमको कुछ भी चाहिए रिसोर्सेज तो वो हमें इजीली अवेलेबल हो, मतलब ज्यादा कॉस्टली ना पड़े.
Yes, ठीक है, got it everyone?
यस मैम.
Socio-cultural factor,
Ma'am, like what society needs, or cultural, like if I say, the shop near the temple will have a different requirement to sell
Mind
it.
of the people, I
yes,
guess.
yes, the thinking of the people.
Yeah.
Okay,
अलग-अलग डेमोग्राफिक्स, लाइफस्टाइल्स के लोगों के लिए
yes,
अलग-अलग चीजें.
and technological factor, change with the changing environment.
यस मैम.
Just
Okay,
like
now what is environment? Scanning, monitoring, evaluating, and disseminating of information from the external and the internal environment to key people with the corporation. किसी भी बिजनेस के सस्टेनेबिलिटी के लिए, टू मूव द बिजनेस विद अ स्मूथ पेस, लॉन्ग वर्किंग के लिए, वी हैव टू स्कैन. एनवायरमेंटल स्कैनिंग इज ऑलवेज, कभी भी हम कोई बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने से पहले हम R&D करते हैं, हम स्कैनिंग करते हैं. सिंपल सी बात है ना कि एक ब्रिक फैक्ट्री की अगर हमें ओपन करना है तो उसको अगर हम सिटी के बीच में ओपन कर देंगे तो हमें हर तरह की प्रॉब्लम फेस करनी पड़ेगी. People will start complaining, they will face problem, हमें लेबर भी कॉस्टली
ट्रांसपोर्टेशन
मिलेगा,
इश्यूज भी आएंगे.
सारे इश्यूज आएंगे. तो इसीलिए हम उसको आउटर पे ओपन करते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि हम पूरा एनवायरनमेंट स्कैन करते हैं. Now what are the different techniques for scanning the environment? It involves two phases. First phase is information gathering and evaluation. So verbal and written information, इन सारे sources के through भी gather the information. Search and scanning, खुद ही search और scan करना. Research for obtaining the required information. Spying, what is this?
हम स्पाई करना दूसरे कॉम्पिटिटर्स पे.
Competitors की information gain करना. Yet it is not good. It is not considered ethical, but we gain the
In order to
information.
sustain in the environment, we have to.
Yes, and then forecasting. What is forecasting?
launching our products.
Future planning.
Future planning. Now, why environmental analysis is required? Understanding of current and potential changes taking place beside long-term future perspective. Business, we are not opening for 1 day, 2 day, 10 day, 20 days, 1 month, 1 year. Anyone who is opening business for only this much time? No?
No one.
No, ma'am.
No one. Yes. So it's a long-term perspective. So we have to do the environmental analysis. Okay. Environmental analysis provides input in form of information which is useful for strategic decision making, and it also facilitates and fosters strategic thinking. हमारी strategies को भी formulate करने में environmental analysis helps us a lot. Now, what are these are the characteristics of business environment? Environment is complex, environment is dynamic, environment is multifaceted, and environment has far-reaching impact. These are the things that we have. These are the characteristics of business environment. Anything which you think I should explain? Anyone? Now, what are the different? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What are the
ma'am.
different types of environment? Internal environment. Who are those? Employees, cash flow, capital assets, material structure. These are the part of internal environment. Then comes the micro. In micro, what are their stakeholders, competitors, supplier, intermediaries, consumer. Why consumer are a part of environment?
In the end, the consumer is our only brand ambassador who, with the word of mouth, publicize our
Yes.
business.
He is the promoter for the business. And in macro environment, there are political, environmental, social, and technological factor, which we have already discussed earlier. Now, what are the components of business environment? Input, output, transportation. This diagram we have already discussed. Then these are the internal environment, the organization, those factor which affects. Then the industry environments, जो अभी मैंने लास्ट स्लाइड में डिस्कस किया, इसी का एक ये ब्रीफ एक्सप्लेनेशन है, हाउ इट इफेक्ट्स. नाउ, what is business environment? Internal environment analysis, external environment analysis. This is the SWOT analysis diagram. In internal environment, we find our strength and weakness. From external environment, opportunities and threats. And SWOT summary we do. We capitalize our strength, we mitigate our weakness, we exploit our opportunities and avoid our threats. Can anyone explain what is SWOT? From here?
SWOT,
Strength.
SWOT analysis is basically a mixture of uh, internal and external environment, which basically affect our whole business. So,
Yes.
in order to run a smooth business, we have to look what's controllable and what's not
Not
controllable.
controllable.
And your ma'am, your diagram easily shows that internal environment has our strengths and weaknesses, which are
Weaknesses.
controllable. Because
Yes.
if we will be controlled our strengths and weaknesses, work on our strengths and weaknesses, then uh, we will be like
External
best.
environment. We have opportunities
External,
and threats. So that's why we exploit our opportunities and avoid the threats.
yes.
Okay. Now, relationship between organization and environment, exchange of information. Yes, there is study of behavior and changes, information for planning, decision making, control purpose. For this, we exchange the information, exchange of resources, input received from external, and so is disposal of its output, and exchange of influence and power. Any example related to this? Influence and power?
Ma'am, Reliance,
Yeah,
Geo.
very good.
First, he influenced us with the free data, and now he's like capturing us and with the services and all,
No,
and
the
increasing the
person
rate.
who is the person who
Yeah,
is in power will influence.
yeah.
Whether that influence will be positive or negative, but will be influence.
Like
Okay?
Elon Musk. and Narendra Modi.
Yes. Now, internal environment components are value system, vision, mission, and objective of any organization, management structure and nature, internal power relationship, human resources, company image. These are the factors which are the components of the internal environment. Employees, if they have a positive lookout towards your organization, they will work hard. If you will, they will be motivated by the financial benefits, जितने भी तरह के benefits उनको मिलेंगे. If they are satisfied from the job, they will satisfy the organization. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the components of internal environment. These are the brief explanation of each of the component that I won't be.
Ma'am,
I will be. Yes.
Ma'am, also a goodwill of company.
Yeah. So there is a company image. The last
Yes, ma'am.
factor. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, other factor, physical assets and facilities, R&D and technological capabilities, जितना change करना किसी भी organization में, जितना जल्दी वो change करेगा, yeah, he is ready to adopt the change. That is also a factor of internal environment, a
Internal
component. The
environment.
marketing resources and the financial factors, all these factors influence the internal environment. Now, the external environment, macro and micro. In macro, we have demographic, economic, government, legal, political, cultural, technological, and global. These are the factors which are present in macro. And in micro, consumer, customers, competitor, organization, market, supplier, intermediaries, public. These are the factors that are present in micro environment. Any issue with this? These are the brief
मैम एक बार
definitions.
जो माइक्रो में पब्लिक और कंज्यूमर, एक बार इनका डिफरेंस बता दीजिएगा.
कंज्यूमर और पब्लिक का.
हाँ.
Okay. Who is the
ऊपर वाली
consumer
स्लाइड
and who is the customer?
कंज्यूमर कस्टमर एंड पब्लिक में थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस, थोड़ा सा
What?
कंफ्यूजिंग हो रहा
Who
था.
is the consumer and who is the customer? Anyone?
Consumer is a buyer.
Yes. And who is the customer? He is not a buyer.
He's also
Ma'am,
a buyer.
We have to convert a customer into our consumer.
Then both
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
basically a
customer ही
customer is
consume
someone
करता
who
है.
is buying a product but
Yes.
not directly consuming it
Consuming. Yes.
himself.
Very
Instead,
good.
consumer is someone who might not buy the product but is consuming that product.
Yes.
Like a mother and child relation, the mother buys the toffee for the kid, but mother is a customer. She is buying it for the kid, and the kid is the consumer there.
Yes. So one aspect is clear, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the other one is public. Any group that has an actual or potential interest in or impact on an organization's ability to achieve its interest. Example, media,
Okay.
citizen, action, local publics. Got it? Who are public?
Yes,
जो
ma'am.
डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली आपके बिजनेस को इफेक्ट करते हैं. Now, these are the external environment factors. Explain briefly the demographic environment, population size, geographic distribution, ethnic mix, income distribution. हम ये सारे factors हैं जिसपे हम segmentation, targeting we do. Yes. So similarly, we do this for procuring the raw material or procuring the products or for procuring the inputs that we require for our business. These are the economic policies, systems, everything, political, legal environment, what it includes, political development, degree of politicization of business, level of political mortality, everything it includes. Political and legal environment has a close relationship with the economic system and economic policy. Socio-cultural environment is a nation determine its value system of the society which in turns affect the function. Socio-cultural environment हमारा जो environment का value system होता है वो होता है. Literacy level, value and belief, state of society, extent of social conflict, human relationship, language. हम कोई भी प्रोडक्ट है या कुछ भी कोई एडवर्टाइजमेंट ही है, हम क्या जो जिस फॉर्म में यूपी में उसको प्रेजेंट करते हैं उसी फॉर्म में हम उसे साउथ में प्रेजेंट करते हैं, सेम फॉर्म में?
नो मैम,
व्हाई?
लैंग्वेज चेंज हो जाती है।
यस, सो हमको अकॉर्डिंग टू दी सोशो कल्चरल एनवायरनमेंट के साथ खुद को चेंज करना पड़ता है. नाउ टेक्नोलॉजिकल एनवायरनमेंट is greatly influenced by the technological development and opportunities arising out of technological innovations. This is the diagram which is showing how our life forever, how technologies, business environment, technological environment, business needs, IT,
Ma'am, please explain this
I-tech for
diagram.
all, and technologies. Yes?
Ma'am, please explain this diagram.
Now, in this diagram, business environment, I have explained there are internal, micro, and macro. These are affecting in micro or macro. In which one we have technological environment?
मैक्रो,
Micro?
मैक्रो,
Yes.
मैक्रो, एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट।
External environment, we have technological environment. Yes. Any, if technology changes from 4G to 5G, you have to switch. बेसिक एग्जाम्पल जो मैंने दिया था QR कोड का, कि people are serving with QR code, serving with barcodes. बारकोड से प्रोडक्ट को सेल आउट करते हैं क्या? पहले शुरू दिन से जब से मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो रही है, प्रोडक्ट सोल्ड आउट हो रहा है, तब से बारकोड यूज हो रहा था?
नो मैम।
नो. सो
मैम बारकोड तो अभी से स्टार्ट हुआ है ना? नहीं नहीं, सॉरी, मैं मिसअंडरस्टैंड हो रही हूँ।
you are misunderstanding between barcode and QR code. Yes.
या यस मैम।
Yes. So पीपल आर चेंजिंग, और हम अगर अपने आप को आईटी के साथ चेंज नहीं करेंगे, बिजनेस को चेंज नहीं करेंगे, सो वी विल नॉट सक्सीड. तो टेक्नोलॉजीज आर चेंजिंग. सारे जो स्टोर्स होते थे या सारी जो ये सेलर्स होते थे, दे आर हैविंग द वेबसाइट्स. पहले कोई नहीं हो, किसी के पास होती थी वेबसाइट्स, ओनली फ्यू हैड. बट नाउ people are selling the products through offline and online both mode
to expand their businesses.
to extend the business. Yes, now many apps have been introduced, like you see many, there are many, ki we are dependent
Like
on them for the services. So we should be always ready to cope up with the change. It may be technological, any kind of change. Now what are international or global environment? Anyone? The screen is
मैम
also there.
international global environment are those environments which affect everyone, not just one business, but affects everyone. It's kind of
Yeah.
external environment on a big picture.
देखो इनिशियली बेटा क्या होता था ना कि वी जनरली बिजनेस सर्व ओनली द एनवायरनमेंट इन विच दे आर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग द प्रोडक्ट. yes, but now everything has changed. People are ready to serve globally. So any change like the war of Ukraine and Russia, any kind of this thing affect the environment and affect the business, because we are serving globally now. अगर हम रॉ मटेरियल कहीं से प्रोक्योर कर रहे हैं, हम कहीं बाहर के कंट्री से रॉ मटेरियल मंगा रहे हैं, तो इट विल इफेक्ट द चेंज इन द प्राइस. हमारी कंट्री में भले कोई चेंज ना हो रहा हो, वहां के प्राइसेस चेंज होंगे तो वो हमारे बिजनेस को इफेक्ट करेंगे. ओके.
Import export.
Anything that kind of. So this is all about the environment. One more thing is to be covered in unit 1, block 1, but that I will cover in our next class, and we will continue with block 2. Okay?
Ma'am, I have three questions.
Yes. Yes.
So one is like about international and global environment, right? So
Yes.
suppose if I say, right, there's a one company who's only whose presence is only on 3 or 4 other countries, right?
Hmm.
And now there's a so if those 3 4 countries get impacted, they will get impacted. But if I talk about the COVID, right, that is where all the global environment was affected, right? So in
Yes.
that case, both the scenario will lie under international and environment and global environment, or for those specific scenario like only the presence is in 3 4 countries, that will lie under some other category.
Both will lie in under global only.
Global only. Okay.
Pandemic case was very different. We could say it's a case of natural disaster.
Mhm. No, no, I'm just saying, like say, I'm like in past year, World War happened, or just I'm just trying to understand
Yeah.
that, right? So that will impact the whole global. But if
Yes. Yes.
some country was not involved in the war, right, they won't be getting impacted there.
If they are running their businesses with those countries, yeah, जैसे मान लो रशिया यूक्रेन के वॉर से बेसिक इम्पैक्ट क्या पड़ा था बेटा? एनी
Ma'am,
आइडिया?
natural resources
मैम
was
क्रूड
supplied.
ऑयल के प्राइसेस मैम फ्लक्चुएट होना स्टार्ट हो गए थे।
यस, पेट्रोल के प्राइसेस फ्लक्चुएट होना स्टार्ट हुए,
Hmm.
तो वो सम और इन द अदर वे हर कंट्री को अफेक्ट कर रहे हैं.
Mhm.
यस
The
मैम।
country का नहीं, अगर the countries which are dependent on, like who's buying from the Saudi or Middle East, right, they are not impacted.
या दे आर नॉट इम्पैक्टेड, तो जो कंट्रीज उनसे डील कर रही हैं वो उनसे इम्पैक्टेड है.
Mhm. Okay. And
ओके.
yeah, ma'am, my second question is,
यस.
आपने example दिया था like if I'm selling in 12 rupees and then my competitor is selling in 10 rupees, then we have to reevaluate everything and then decide what price we are selling.
योर वॉइस इज नॉट क्लियर, वंस अगेन,
मैम,
पार्डन.
आपने एक एग्जाम्पल दिया था स्टार्टिंग
हाँ.
में कि अगर हम कोई चीज 12 रुपीज में बेच रहे हैं, हमारा
हम्म.
कॉम्पिटिटर उसे 10 रुपए में बेच रहा है,
हम्म.
we have to reevaluate every strategy and
हम्म.
everything, like our
हम्म.
business, right? So
यस.
obviously it might not be possible for a company to
हम्म.
evaluate on a frequent basis, right?
हम्म.
And the competitor will be coming on a daily basis or maybe very frequent. So
हम्म.
are there any are there any strategy or there's a recommendation like okay, every quarterly we should be reviewing that, or how once in a year or twice in a year?
Strategies are made for reviewing. Okay.
Okay.
Quarterly, 6 monthly, yearly projection is done always.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, and मैम एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है
Yes.
कि जो आपने इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल डिपेंडेंसी में बोला था, राइट?
हम्म.
तो उसमें एम्प्लॉयज, लेबर एंड ऑल, सो इंटरनल डिपेंडेंसी रिड्यूस की जा सकती है लाइक से ऑटोमेटिक मशीन्स लाके एंड देन ऑटोमेशन और टेक्नोलॉजी का सपोर्ट लेके, बट
तो हम्म.
आर देयर एनी वेज टू रिड्यूस द एक्सटर्नल डिपेंडेंसी? बिकॉज डिपेंडेंसी ज्यादा होगी तो बिजनेस पे इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा होना है, ऐसा मेरा मानना.
Power and influence. There was a factor
हम्म.
which I discussed, power and influence. The person who is in power, if he is influenced by you, your business will have very good growth.
हम्म.
You have examples.